Hey there, gang. You know, I wanted to relate one of the most memorable strip club experiences I've ever had. Not memorable good, just memorable. And this happened in the lovely hamlet of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Now, those of you who have already been to Scranton, Pennsylvania know what those who haven't might not know. And that is you shouldn't go, really under any circumstances. If there's one good thing, though, about Scranton, and it might be the only good thing, it's that it's a certain visual poetry to the town, that it's sort of a do-it-yourself or a write-yourself Bruce Springsteen song. Just talk about what you're seeing. Observe. Well, I'm driving down the streets of this shitty, shitty town, this town that time forgot. All the houses are crappy and boarded up, and everything's gray like snot. Well, I want to get out of this shitty, shitty town, this town that time forgot. But my buddy's getting married in a day or two, and so I'm stuck here for another 24 hours. Stuck here for another 24 hours. So yeah, that's what I was doing there, is my buddy was getting married, real good friend. And you know, the night before the wedding, we're having an impromptu sort of bachelor party for him. And as so often happens, somebody suggests, you know, a strip club, because that's what you're supposed to do for a bachelor party, I guess. And so we, you know, we go, and it was a bunch of dudes. And this is an important detail, and one female, and that was the groom's sister, Mindy. Mindy is a doll. She's a lovely gal, smart, funny, you know, much to recommend her. She's a good time. But she's also trouble, and like I said, you probably should understand that before we go any further. So we go to this club in downtown Scranton, and oh man, talk about a depressing place. There's this dark, kind of dingy, long room, and the main feature of it was this sort of horseshoe-shaped bar, and you know, the bartender was in the middle, and you know, all the sad bar patrons were bellied up, you know, drinking their booze. And the club's one dancer used this platform, you know. So while people are drinking, you know, she's up there shaking her moneymaker, you know, while they're drinking. And you know, about this, the dancer, you know, I do believe that you know, all God's creatures are beautiful in their own way, but you know, from a strictly physical beauty standpoint, yeah, she left a lot to be desired. And it was a strictly topless club. You know, not bottomless, which was A-okay with me. But one thing I thought was strange, and I don't know if this is just a Scranton peculiarity or maybe just this club or whatever, but, you know, I said she was topless, but actually, technically speaking, I think she was wearing pasties. But what these pasties were just the little star, you know, your teacher gives you for doing a good job on a paper. Yeah, she had those on, you know, on her nipples. They didn't cover up anything. So, you know, anyway, I was, you know, up at the bar drinking, and suddenly this fight commotion breaks out, you know, and people are getting jostled. And I look over, and it's Mindy with a bunch of, you know, with a bunch of East Coast dudes, you know, and they're all, and I should, you know, if anybody, you know, what do you mean by East Coast dude? You know what I mean. Those, you know, Jersey Shore people, you know, big muscles, short, perfect haircut, aggressive. So, you know, and again, because of my West Coast prejudice, I may have misjudged the situation a little bit, because all I see is this little thuggish dude, you know, threatening, like, I'm going to beat her face, you know, talking about Mindy. So, you know, we all rush, that's my buddy's sister, and we all rush over there. And you know, his friends are there too, and they seem like cool dudes. They explain like, hey, they're out, you know, on a bachelor party too. He's getting married the next day as well. You know, everybody's just looking to have a good time. So, you know, we're okay, you know. So it just starts to break up, and then all of a sudden, Mindy, you know, starts shooting her mouth off, and the dude is suddenly enraged again. You know, I'm gonna beat her face in. I'm gonna bust her mouth, and you know, so we're all getting in it again. And finally, the bar, you know, they've had enough, so they kick us out, and you know, we all kind of just we have to get out pretty quick, and we all sort of have to find our way home. And I end up sharing a cab with Mindy, and Mindy tells me the whole story, and it puts things in a different light. I mean, I'm still on Mindy's side. I mean, I'm a partisan, you know. She's my friend. Those dudes weren't. But what happens is, apparently, you know, Mindy starts talking to this guy who it turns out is, you know, like I said, he's getting married the next day. And somehow this guy gets the idea that Mindy is a professional woman. Wonder how he got that idea, Mindy. And so he suggests, you know, hey, let's go for a walk, you know, it'd be $75 in it for you. And instead of saying, you know, because at this point Mindy says, oh, you know, I think you have a misapprehension, you know, no, I'm not that kind of girl. But Mindy says, you know, you just contributing to this. She says, well, how about 100? And the guy's like, okay. And so then Mindy just suddenly, she turns on him, she unloads on him, and she's like, you know, you're a dick, you know, you're getting married tomorrow, and blah, 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 blah. And all this would have been fine, and maybe wouldn't have even set him off. But then she did the really, kind of a big no-no. And she invoked the one, you know, the truly aggrieved person in all this, the one innocent person, and that was the bride-to-be. She said, and she told me, she said, your wife must be butt ugly if you're out trying to score tail on the night before you get married. There was no need to do that. Anyway, and he flipped. But, so, you know, on the way home, I was thinking, you know, we might have almost gotten our asses kicked for, you know, for something, you know, that had she not been maybe a female, it might have been an ass-kicking offense. So, you know, on the way home, the last thing Mindy says to me is, don't tell my dad. And so that's really my memory of Scranton, Pennsylvania.